Hi everyone and welcome back. This video we're going to press pause on sort of the science and the specifics of coaching and setting up your cross-country macrocycle to just sort of applaud the four young people who we had signed letters of intent to compete in college from Wharton track and field and cross-country program this year. Four fantastic individuals. I was able to work with them in various different ways. The first two we're going to talk about, the two that are on screen left, Janea and Nia, I've worked with on the middle distance side. That's what I focus on. And then Zach, who one of the absolute best throwers in not just the state but the entire country, who worked with our fantastic assistant coach, Wes Newton, who basically is like my mentor as a coach in this, and just brought a different level to our program in terms of throwing, Zach. And then we've got Mackenzie, who is coached by our fantastic sprint coach, Heenan Tate. She's a hurdler sprinter. I was fortunate enough to also have Mackenzie as a student when she was a freshman. I also taught Nia when she was a freshman too. So I've been able to work with all four of these kids in different ways, athletically, in the classroom, just various times throughout. So really fortunate to be able to work with these four people in the different ways in their time here at Wharton, and very, very proud that they were all able to sign their letters of intent just a few days ago at our school. So Janea, better known as Gigi Johnson, she signed with Florida Southern University. It's a D2 school in the Sunshine State Conference. It's a fantastic program when it comes to distance, can hold their own against the absolute best in our state and in the region when it comes to on the distance side of things. Nia, more on the middle distance side of things, but can definitely do well on the distance side. She signed with Southeastern Missouri State University, Division I program in Ohio Valley Conference. A lot of time spent with this young lady, not just with her time with the school, but also with her two older siblings. Zach, also, I was able to coach Zach's older brother when he was on our cross country and our track and field team. Zach had a very different athletic gift. He's, like I said, a fantastic thrower, and he signed with the University of Florida, one of the best Division I programs in the Southeastern Conference. Has won many national championships, and he's going to fit in with that program fantastically as one of the best javelin throwers in the country. And then Mackenzie Connor signed with the University of Mount Olive, Division II program in the Conference of Carolinas. Did a lot of different things, more on the short hurdle side, but she could also do well in the 300-meter hurdles, and I'm sure will do great thing at the 400-meter hurdles. In our sprint team, did a lot of jumping in her last couple of years too with the school, and I think it's just an all-around fantastic athlete that Mount Olive is getting here. So I'll kind of take them in that order. I have videos of the first two as they actually sign their letters of intent, so I'll break in with those. And the last two, I'll also just talk about them, but I don't actually have videos of them signing, so let's get right to it. So first off, with Janea's athlete profile. So through career, her PRs, her cross-country 5K is 20:26. Her 3,200 meters is 12:12.91. Her 1,600-meter mile PR 5:27.65. Her 800-meter PR 2:29.76. And her 400-meter PR, she only ran it once this senior year at 64.93. Other notes from her best VVO2 max, as you know from previous videos, I like to measure these things. The best that she ever did in a test or race or whatever, the best her aerobic system ever got was 5:52, or she reached a VO2 max when she's running 5:52. So under 6-minute pace, just a fantastically strong on the aerobic side, but also in her fly 30s, her absolute, or near absolute speed, her acceleration, 3.78 seconds in fly 30-meter test. So she could also get up and move when she needed to. She competed with our cross-country team at Wharton for 4 years, and the last 2 years also she decided to do track and field, and I think it was a great idea for her. When we first started working with her, I think everybody thought that she was more on the pure distance side, but like I said, she's got that ability to also surprise you with her speed too, so I think track was really good for her development. These are her progressions in what I would call her three best events. Her cross-country 5K freshman year 25:06 went down to 21:24 as a sophomore. Junior year 20:36, and then senior year 20:26. 3,200 meters. She did not run. Well, she didn't run track her first 2 years, and didn't run a 2-mile her junior year. And she really became great at it, just holding splits and everything. Unfortunately, this year everything was cut short because of COVID-19, so she was only able to run, for my best recollection, I think it was only 2 in a race. We obviously do VO2 max testing, but if she had been able to have a complete season, easily would have been under 12, I think, the next time out. In fact, the next race she was going to do, we were going to have her run a 2 mile, and I think she was definitely going to break that barrier. And from her VO2 max, from different metrics we've been doing, I think that it was obvious that she was going to break 12 on the next time out. And then her 1600 meters, again, no track her first 2 years, but her junior year, she was 5:37.21, and then dropped that by 10 seconds with only half a season her senior year. And that last race was her 5:27.65 before her season got cut short. It was a race at Cypress Creek, and just so fantastically well done by Gigi. It was just such a great race for her. I have a breakdown of it. It'll be in the description down below. But just the way that she was just so calm and composed in this, and just absolutely flew on her last lap, I think it was really sort of textbook of her being so strong in the middle, so tactical, but then when she needs to go, she can absolutely go with the best of them. I would definitely recommend taking a look at that. And that last race that she had, I think, really sort of showed where she was going, but I think it was also really big for her in terms of Florida Southern really seeing that progression and the range that she had of being able to. I think she would easily have been an under 12-minute 2-miler. She was a very, she likes cross country actually better. But also showed that she's got that ability to move too, and I think that really stood out to Florida Southern. What's really nice about for Gigi is the home course for Florida Southern is her favorite course that we run during the season in cross country. A place called Holloway Park, out in a little town called Lakeland, Florida. So just a kind of a great fit for her. I was only able to work with Gigi her senior year in track. Obviously, I knew her for a number of years being on the team, but the way we kind of broke down events, and I just absolutely loved this kid and her ability to not only want to do well every single day, but her leadership was just through the roof, off the charts. Just did everything that we needed in terms of working with those younger kids, being that guiding influence. She's a huge member of the ROTC program at our school, so I think it was just great that having her on the team, interacting, not only with the girls team, but also being with the boys in the group that I worked with. It really helped our whole program because of who she is, as much as, if not more than, her times on the track, what she was able to do in that leadership and just her personality. So now I'll show you guys her actual signing.
Our next athlete ready to sign is Janea Johnson. She will be signing with Florida Southern College on track and field and a cross-country scholarship. Janea currently holds an unweighted GPA of a 3.766 and a weighted GPA of 5.286. She's accompanied by her mom, Christy Johnson, and her dad, Hal Johnson. Janea, at this time, I ask that you pick up your pen and you sign your letter of intent. Janea, at this time, what I'd like to say, on behalf of Mr. Rowan, our principal, and the administrative staff, I'd like to say congratulations to you. Good luck to you, and I know that you'll represent your family in Wharton well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on to Nia Rivers. I was very fortunate to be able to work with this young lady for 4 straight years in high school, throughout cross country and her track career. But also I was able to know Nia before that. Not only did the middle school that she went to, they ran their meets at our high school, Wharton High School, so obviously we would go and we would help out and everything, so I saw her through that point. But I was also fortunate enough to get to coach her older sister, Brianna, who's currently at UMass on a track and cross-country scholarship, but also her older brother, Trey, Nehemiah Rivers, who's at University of Illinois Chicago, also on a cross-country and a track scholarship. So fortunate that I've been able to know this young lady for the last 6 years, almost 6 years. I was able to also teach her while she was in my freshman English class, so been able to really kind of get to know her in a bunch of different ways. Nia's definitely more of a quiet type personality, but somebody with her personality really brings a lot to our team. You could really see on her constant competitive drive. She wouldn't say anything about it, but you could just kind of see her kind of clue in and check in and lock in, for lack of a better term. But just meant so much to our program over the last bunch of years, and just very, very happy to see that she was able to get to the school that she wanted to, Southeast Missouri State. She chose that school in large part because they have veterinary studies, which she wants to be a vet, and it's not a program that a lot of places have. In fact, there's only one college in Florida that has it. So she knew she was probably going to have to look sort of elsewhere, and she found a Division I program that I think is just well suited for her to go to. So very happy that she was able to make the decision and sign with Southeast Missouri State, and they're very fortunate to get this young lady with their program. So when you'll see with Nia's PRs, you'll see there was sort of always this debate. Her older sister Bree was a classic 800 meter kid, maybe 400 800 meter, and then her brother was the exact opposite. He was all about the pure distance. He loves that in college. They run the 10K in cross country, so it was always kind of hard to see where she was. I think we first started looking at her as an 800 meter runner, and then we started looking more at like a 2-miler, and I think really settled with her, and she really became comfortable more with that mile somewhere in between. So you'll kind of see with her progressions, they're all over the place, but if you look at her career PRs, you'll see that they're very solid from top to bottom, and I think that's one of the reasons why she's got this opportunity. Is she's not a one-trick pony. She can do a lot of different things on the long side, on the shorter side, and everything in between. I would say that she definitely lends herself, or she likes more the shorter types of things. She's not one of the ones that necessarily loves it when we say we're doing a long run or something like that, but you can definitely see from her PRs that she has the ability to do those longer races too. So let's get right into her career PRs. Her cross-country 5K PR is 19:56, that very important barrier of being under 20 minutes. So close in being under the 12-minute barrier in her 3,200 meters. That time comes from her junior year, and unfortunately, because of coronavirus, we had only half a senior season. I think she definitely would have gotten under 12. She was only able to run one of these in a meet. It was the first meet of the season. We were going to kind of circle back around to it in the next couple of meets, but I think certainly had the ability to break 12. 1,600 meter PR, what I think she would call her favorite event, is 5:24.88. Her 800 meter PR, 2:20.92, a very solid time also. And her 400 meter PR, 62.62 seconds. So just you can see those are really solid from top to bottom in a really large range of different events. Some other notes and metrics from Nia. Her best VVO2 max, so the velocity at which she reaches VO2 max, was 6 flat. That's not only from her 2-mile race that was right at 6 flat, but also her 19:56 in cross country. Also, if you do the math and kind of reverse engineer it, essentially, it is also 6 flat. So we really did a lot to that aerobic system, but you can see from her Fly 30 test, she definitely has the ability to get up and move when she really needs to, has that shorter speed also. 3.63 seconds in a Fly 30 test is certainly a very solid time. She's competed with our cross-country team and our track team for the last 4 years, so very fortunate that we were able to work with her in multiple sports for all 4 years. So here are her progressions. Like I said, you can almost see where we were kind of jumbling around of working with her more on the pure distance side or the middle distance side. You can kind of see how there were sort of different ups and downs in these different events as we kind of try to figure out where the focus needed to be with her. So in cross country, her freshman year came out running fantastically, 21:04. Sophomore year, 20:06. Junior year is when she cracked that 20-minute barrier, 19:56. I believe it was at the state meet. Her junior year, and then senior year, 2016. 1,600 meter PR, freshman 5:34.08, sophomore 5:24.88, junior year 5:31.96. Only got into one real mile her senior year, also 5:40.66. Certainly was trending in the direction where that was going to come down also if we'd had more than just half a season. And then her 800 freshman year, 2:24.65. I believe her 800 meter PR in middle school was 2:31 or right about that, so she came in at a very fantastic level too. Sophomore 2:21.32, junior year 2:20.32. That was at the state meet, I remember distinctly. And then senior year 2:28.61. Also only got one of these races before the season was cut short. We were going to circle back to this, and I think again was just trending in that direction. But as you can see, she certainly did everything that she needed to get to the place that she wanted to. So just a fantastic career here for Nia, and Southeast Missouri is just getting a great athlete, but just a great person. I can't say enough great things, and was so fortunate to be able to work with this young lady for the last 4 years. And so we will go to her signing also. I didn't say this before, but the voice that you're hearing is our athletic director, Mr. Eddie Henderson, and I'll let him take it from there.
Our next athlete signing is Nia Rivers. She will be signing at Southeast Missouri State on a track and field as well as a cross-country scholarship. Nia is currently carrying a 3.245 unweighted GPA and a 4.845 weighted GPA. She is accompanied by her dad, Nehemiah Rivers. Nia, at this time, please pick up your pen and sign your letter of intent. Okay, Nia, at this time, I'm like to, on behalf of Mr. Rowan, our principal, and our administration staff, I'd like to congratulate you on your signing to Southeast Missouri State. I want to say congratulations, and I know that you'll do well and you'll represent Wharton and your family well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so Zach Godbold. I never directly coached Zach in any really meaningful way. He was coached by our guru of all things track and field and cross country, Wesley Newton. But really, Zach came in, and you'll see this. He was one of the absolute best javelin throwers, not just in our state or our region, but in the entire country. So he taught us as much about the javelin as we taught him. He also threw the shot and the disc for us, and you'll see just his career PRs, but his progression, just every year he got better. Even that javelin, where he was one of, if not the best in the state, coming to us, you'll see there was this incredible progression from somebody who was already such a high-level athlete. So very, very fortunate that we had Zach come through our program. He really stepped up our program on the throwing side and made us all have to be better coaches. The only thing that I really did meaningful in terms of coaching Zach his senior year, I think we came up with maybe one or two ideas in terms of conditioning, some things just looking at the last couple of years, where he also plays soccer. He would come out of the soccer season and he would be just doing great, and just the only suggestion I had was for us to kind of continue some of that base that we built up, or he built up in the soccer season. So everything else came from him and Wes Newton, our throws coach. But just it's so fantastic to see him get with the University of Florida, because that was a school that he really wanted to go to. It's a fantastic program. They've won numerous national championships over the next few years, and I think it's fantastic that they're getting this absolutely fantastic javelin thrower out of their program, and it's the place that he really wanted to go to. Interesting thing, in the picture here, you'll see his mother, Maria, is actually a graduate of Florida State University, which I also am also, so we were kind of saying, man, I really wish that he had maybe gotten into a garnet and gold colors, but it's perfectly, it's the place that he definitely wanted to go to from the get-go, so very happy to see that he got to the place that he wanted to get to. So let's take a look at his career PRs. All right, so in Florida, we throw the rubber tip during the regular season, but he also throws his steel tip javelin in club meets. So that's what he's going to be throwing in college. But in Florida, there was a steel tip javelin, and then it went away for about 50 years because somebody either got hit by a javelin or something like that happened. So they only let us use the rubber tip now, and you'll see that it definitely doesn't fly quite as far. It's not as aerodynamic, so that's why you see me break it down here with steel tip versus rubber tip. So steel tip javelin, his PR is 60.38. He only was able to throw that one time this year. It was in a club meet before our season got going, and that equates to about 98 feet for those of you that would like that in Imperial, which is still the best throw in the state of Florida and one of the best throws in the entire country. With the rubber tip, his PR is 55.14, which came from the last meets that he competed in this year, which again just kind of shows that steady progress. That's 181 feet. The discus throw also, his PR comes from the last meet that he threw in the season, 37.24 meters, or about 120 feet. The shot put is definitely not his favorite event, but we did it. He did it because sometimes we wanted to have the points for the team score, but more importantly, we did it with him for the strength aspect and the footwork and all the technical things that you can get by doing these different things. His PR, he only threw it one time in a meet this year, and he was 11.02 meters, which is his PR, about 36 feet. Other notes for him, he's competed in track and field for 4 years. He also kicks for our football team, and he's played soccer, I believe, for 4 years on our team at Wharton. He also played club soccer, I believe, every single year he was in high school, too. So it just kind of shows the all-around athlete that he is, to be one of, if not the best javelin throwers in the entire country, to be able to do the discus and the shot, but also to be a kicker. And on the soccer team, I think just shows the depth and the talent that this young man has. to make all that happen. At the University of Florida, I forgot to say this, his older brother is also going there. Frankie, who was a member of our cross country and our track team, was a sub-2 157 kid in the 800, so a very, very athletic family, and you can just see all the different things that he did while he was a member of our athletic programs at Wharton High School. So our progressions, and again, really note he came in at such a high level in especially the javelin, and see, he just got better every single year, which I think really speaks to, and I didn't mention this before, and I should have, the dedication he put in to the conditioning side, but also the strength side, the strength and conditioning side, getting ready for his senior season. It would have been really easy for a kid who has this kind of performance and marks coming in to just sort of go through the motions. He actually, in Florida last year, they had an exhibition at the state championship where they took all the top 8 throws. No classifications, just the top 8. We're a 4-classification state in Florida. But they just took just the top 8 throws and let those top 8 kids throw. It was done as an exhibition throughout the regular season. And Zach won that exhibition state championship, and I believe he was one of only 2 boys who were underclassmen. So he easily could have just sort of been like, man, I'm the number 1 person. I'm going to just come through. I don't need to work that hard. I'm going to be the number 1 kid no matter what. And he was anything but that. In his soccer season was when we were also conditioning and doing our strength stuff for track and field, and he would have, there were so many times when he would have a soccer game that would go, 10:30 or whatever the night before, and then we would have 6:30 weightlifting the next morning, and he would be there every single time just wanting to get better. And it really, I think, speaks to it when you see the progressions that I'll show you here, why he still got better even though he was so strong already. So javelin, we didn't have the rubber tip javelin as an option in Florida for high school. He did throw the steel tip javelin, but don't have those broken down here. But so they had no attempts with the rubber tip as a freshman. Sophomore year, when the state started allowing us to do this and have this kind of push for the javelin, it was 46.18 meters. He was kind of getting used to the fact that it didn't fly the same way without the steel tip. Junior year, 52.4 meters. Senior year, 55.15. Again, that came in the last meet that he threw in the season. With the discus, again, you can see that same very steady and steady progress all the way through. Freshman year, 24.64 meters. As a sophomore, 33.1 meters. Junior year, 35.04, which I believe came from our district meet. Last meet that he competed in as a junior. And then the 37.25 came from the last meet that he competed in as a senior. So again, you can just see he just always got better, always got better, always got better. And even in the event that he doesn't like nearly as much the shot put, you can see again that steady progress and just wanting to get better at whatever was put in front of him. Freshman year, 9.08, got about a half a meter better, 9.57 as a sophomore. Junior year jumped up about a little bit more than a meter, 10.65, and then jumped up about half a meter his senior year and only half a season, 11.04. We only had him do it in one event. We were going to have him do it a few more times throughout the season. I think you would have just continued to see that progress had he been able to finish his senior year. So again, just so fortunate that this young man was a part of our program, and so happy that he was able to get to the school that he really wanted to go to. All right, so Mackenzie Connor, I had zero to do with any aspect of her training. She's trained by our fantastic sprint and hurdle coach, Heenan Tate, and also she also does the high jump and the long jump. Coach Tate does some of the long jump work, but also Alex Harris is our assistant on the jump side, and you'll see the all-around athlete that this young lady is. But I was fortunate enough, I had this young lady in my freshman English honors class and got to know her in that respect, and I think that what I saw from her as a freshman is what she sort of carried over in her athletic pursuits, that she was just basically fearless. I remember she sat right in the front of my classroom, was always, an active participant, always answering the questions. Even if she wasn't 100% sure, she jumped right into it, and I think that really shows, you can't have any hesitation in the hurdles or the jumps, and I think it really speaks to her personality that she did that. And also a sort of an interesting fact when you see the PRs of this young lady, she's supposed to be going into her senior year next year. I can't remember if she skipped a grade or if she just started early, but she is actually a year young for her age. So for her to be able to do all these things, to be able to sign with Mount Olive, and to see that the all-around athlete she is, just speaks to the all-around person that this is, that we're dealing with here with Mackenzie Connor, because she should have had another year of just growth and maturation, and she was already standing out at such a high level. So very fortunate that I got to work with this young lady. So let's take a look at her career PR. Work with her as a teacher, and then sort of indirectly as somebody that she can talk to, but never really work with her again as an athlete. That was Coach Tate and Coach Harris. But fortunate that I got to work with her in my own small way. So her career PRs: her 100-meter hurdles 14.89 PR, 300-meter hurdles 48.3. Her high jump PR 152 or 1.52 meters, which is just under 5 feet. Her long jump PR 4.98 meters, 16.34 feet. Her 100-meter PR 12.73, 200-meter PR 26.8, and her 400-meter PR is 67.24. As you can see, she certainly likes the short, explosive side of things. Not necessarily the person that would be first to volunteer to run the 4x4, but she definitely can show that she's got a lot of versatility in these explosive power type events, and I think that's what Mount Olive is really looking at, that versatility and that athleticism that she really has on that explosive side of things. Some other notes: she's competed with the track and field program at Wharton for the last 4 years, and she did compete for a year in cross country. It was either her freshman or her sophomore year. I can't remember. I didn't work with her that year at all, but she did try the longer side of things. I know she did not necessarily like it all that much, but she certainly did give it a shot at one point in her career. Here are her progressions, and what you'll notice is her junior year, there was sort of a weird what happened there. She had a really bad hamstring injury her junior year, and just was sort of dealing with that quite a bit. And then obviously her senior year, we all got cut short because of the coronavirus. So you'll notice that sort of weird what happened her junior year. It was a hamstring injury that she was dealing with, but she came back her senior year ready to go, and you can kind of see things were trending in that direction. So freshman year in the 100-meter hurdles, 15.96, and then her PR 14.89. Junior year 15.29, and then senior year 15.24. The 300-meter hurdles, freshman year 49.09, sophomore year 49.43. No attempts as a junior, again dealing with that hamstring injury, and then came out and already run a PR in the 300-meter hurdles here as a senior, 48.3. And then high jumps, she didn't do that her first 2 years, but then her junior year, I believe this was her PR came from our district meet as a junior, 1.52 meters, and then it already cleared 1.42 meters here as a senior, and I think definitely would have brought all those times down and marks down had we been able to have a full senior season. So very, very fortunate that I got to work in some way with all four of these people. The first two, Nia and Janea, directly for either, one season in Janea's case, but all 4 years in Nia's case. But then also sort of indirectly with Zach, very minor, but in some respect. And then Mackenzie, in no way athletically, but got a chance to teach her, and also got to teach Nia when they were both freshmen. So very happy that I got to, and very fortunate that I got to work with each of these four people in some way. They all meant so much to our program here at Wharton High School, and we're certainly going to miss everything that they brought to the table. Obviously they were all high-level athletes, and we're going to miss the performance they had, but I think more importantly we're going to miss the personalities and just the people that they are. They meant so much to us in different levels of leadership and lead by example and just different things that they did. They left a fantastic and indelible mark on this program that will be felt for years, and we're certainly going to miss having that in our practice sessions every day, at our meets, and just what they brought to the table for us here at Wharton High School, and helping their teammates and just everything that they meant to us. We're really fortunate that these four people came to us when they did, and that we were able to work with them in the different ways that we were able to. So they're going to great programs, and those programs they're going to are so fortunate to have each of these four people there because of just the top level athletes, but the top level people, more importantly, that they are. So this is what it's all about, these kids getting a chance to, get most, if not all, of their college paid for, set themselves up for the rest of their life, the lessons that they learned athletically, but, being on a team and the trials and tribulations that come with this, and to set themselves up to where, they're in a really good spot going into this next chapter of their life. I'm going to remember all four of these people for just what they meant for us, and, they're going to do fantastic things, I know. and so fortunate that we were able to have that opportunity to work with them over the last 4 years. So if you like this video, please think about liking or subscribing. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments down below. As I mentioned, there's a couple performances, different video breakdowns. They're in the descriptions down below. I would take a look at those if you have a couple of minutes just to kind of see what these people did on the track. I'm going to go back to doing the video series on the macro cycle for cross country and general prep. Do a video on mileage in the general preparation phase. Different things like off days and strength development. A couple of different things that I'll be doing, so you can look forward to those over the next few days. So until next time, this has been Coachy TV.